kite flying his
building, right? Yes. These are the Slush twins. They had the Slush, the founder or the entrepreneur that built the neighborhood, had two sons, and he didn't want any quarrels, any problems, so he built exactly the same buildings. And this one, Schluss. This is so they used to, instead of just an entrance to the street, they used to build like a wall, defensive sort of wall that would in any kind of. Tel Aviv was bombed several times during the Second World War of the Italian. Square, it could be sort of rounded as well, but it's very clean. It's very sort of efficient. Unlike the one right next door to it, you see the Greek pillars there, and the it's very different than. So this is very eclectic, right? This is very 20s.
Are they trying to do this one?
You see the potential in it. I mean,
Yeah.
if you help it a little bit, it will come back to life. Yeah. Very beginning of Tel Aviv. This intersection is the very beginning of Tel Aviv. From here, everything started. This is the north to south street. They named it Herzl.
This is where everything started.
The name they picked are very telling. This is the meeting of the vision. Remember, we talked already about Herzl being the vision and the money. When those meet, everything sort of explodes from here. Because this is it. 66 buildings around this intersection. They divided. They made this lottery of who's getting what. Right on the beach of Tel Aviv, there is this photograph by one of the beautiful houses we walked by was the first photographer of Tel Aviv. They took the picture in April of 19, they say a year before they actually started. So it must be April of 1908, when they have you coming over, picking up shells that they picked, like you did. White shells with the names of the families, and black shells with the numbers of the lots, and he takes one and one and makes this match between the family and the lot that they're getting. And the buildings, well, not this stretch, but some over there and there and there on the left, these are all original buildings. Some of them, like this one here, were not renovated yet, some of them were, and already need, by now need another sort of facelifting. But these are the first buildings of Tel Aviv. Not all of them started as like all the way up. It started gradually building themselves a little bit. What happened usually is that the family is getting bigger, and they need to sort of house this son when he gets married. So they break part of it and make it a separate apartment. And before you know it, you're getting an apartment building from this. But this is the very beginning. It's the first kiosk of Tel Aviv. You saw the one of them that's and the school was right where the high-rise is now standing. Named it again after Herzl. So you see that it's very well admired. And this is the beginning of Rothschild. Rothschild takes us all the way today, because it's like as we walk Rothschild, we can really get all the way to the contemporary parts of Tel Aviv. Takes us through all the way to the concert hall of Tel Aviv that was built in the 60s, and it keeps on going. So it's a very charming street. It's a boulevard actually, very sort of well balanced. Commercial spaces. offices, also some office buildings in the background. We're going to walk in a little bit to get the feel of the
What was
neighborhood.
Rothschild? I missed the story.
Rothschild is a family of bankers in Europe in the 19th century. There were 5 brothers, and each one of them set in a different major city in Europe, and they began sort of loaning money to different including states. They financed states at some point in time, and their secret is that they were so well linked. They set in all these main capital cities of Europe, and they were very sort of well linked between the 5 of them, and they were ahead of the market almost always. Made a fortune by the end of the 19th century. It was one of the wealthiest families in the world. And one of the sons, one of these 5 brothers, started to be interested in helping Jewish communities throughout the world, including the one in Israel. Because this first wave of Jewish immigrants coming to the country, they didn't come with any farming sort of experience. They came in Europe. They were never Jewish farmers. You weren't allowed to hold or to own land. So they came here with not any experience whatsoever, and many of them failed in the beginning. And he stepped in at the last decade of the 19th century and bailed them out in many cases. I told you about the story of my family. They sort of, in their case, they did very well, but then the Turkish kicked them out. And they were left with nothing because everything was invested in the land there. So they moved to the Galilee, and he came to their help by restarting in the Galilee, in a town that is still out there. So he's the one that was in, and it didn't just came with the money. He sent advisors and supervisors and instructors, and many sort of provided more than money, the know-how and the organization. So he's sort of again regarded as the one that started it off.
Jewish family?
Of course, yes. Sort of, there is a bank and there is an investment arm to the bank, and this family is not, they're not working together anymore, but very well. He was working for the Baron Rothschild in building up the wineries in Zichron Yaakov and many other places. He was, and he became one of the sort of spirit behind this enterprise. And this was his home when he died. After several years of being the mayor, he left it to the city, so it became a museum. And for Bible and art and all that. In 48, May of 48, after 6 years of battle, 6 months of battle, right? Starting at the, right after the UN adopted the partition plan in November of 47, broke the 48 war. What we call the Independence War, what the Palestinians call the Nakba, the disaster. The war started the next morning.
What did the Palestinians call it?
What's that?
What did you say the Palestinians?
Nakba is the name they're using. Nakba is like disaster.
Okay.
The catastrophe. It was a catastrophe. The way it ended up for them is very. But it's also important to remember it started when the UN voted the constitution plan, divided the country.
Mayor Dizengoff, first mayor of
איך קוראים לו?
Tel Aviv.
מאיר דיזינגוף.